Hey, Elk Grove High School. Mr. Janu here from the Elk Grove Film Club, and I'm here today to talk to you about DIY filmmaking. Now, I'm a big proponent of being able to go out there and make a film with as little money as possible, and it's something that can be done. This is going to be the first in a series of DIY filmmaking videos that we are going to produce. And today I'm going to talk to you about one of the oldest effects in the history of film, and it's something that you can do on a very limited budget. I'm talking, of course, about chroma key, otherwise known as green screen, blue screen, matting. It is one of the oldest special effects in the history of film. Today it's done with computers, and it's relatively easy. But the same concept that the computers do today was done by hand and pioneered well over 100 years ago in some of the very first films. Georges Méliès, a French filmmaker, he made the film Travel to the Moon. Some of the first special effects in film were pioneered by him. He used this technique often, as you could see in this clip of his film about severed heads. Now, what he did in that film is he masked out part of the film, and then he used double exposure. Now, that's been done for years, masking out film and then using a painting, a matte painting, to make up the difference, which allowed for using art instead of building huge sets. Of course, chroma key you see every day on the news. The weather person stands in front of a green screen and points out the weather on a map. That, of course, is not there. Now, today it is the most used special effect. In fact, you can't go a day without seeing this effect on TV or in the movies. Most productions have some type of green screen effect. It's just cheaper. And the way computers are today, it is very practical and very efficient. Take a look at this. You may recognize some of these clips. Now this is some pretty easy stuff to do. And all you need is a camera, of course, some household lights, editing software, and a green screen. Now why green? Well, it doesn't have to be green actually. It could be any color. At one time, blue was often used as a screen. But the problem with blue is that blue is a very popular color. It appears a lot on clothes. So the industry kind of turns more towards green, although blue screens are used a lot. Not outside as much because the blue blends in with the sky, but inside, green is often used. And that's the kind of screen that I have, a green screen. Here, let me show you my setup here. I'm going to start filming on my phone, and so you can see, the setup that I have here. There we go. There's my camera there. It is a relatively cheap camera. This is what I use for home movies and everything, but it is an HD camera. It was about $300. And as long as it has some manual controls, and also, if you notice here, it has a microphone input. I like having a microphone, and there's my mic up there. And then I've got, a light there, a light there, and over here's my green screen. I was sitting on a box. We are now down in my basement, and it's kind of small and cramped, but you don't need a whole lot of room for a green screen. Now that is a fluorescent light. I usually light my green screens with a fluorescent because it puts a little bit more of an even spill on the green screen, and that's what you want. Now for the subject, in this case me, I use the incandescent lights. Now the incandescent lights give off a more warmer tone, which is good for human beings. The fluorescents are more of a cool color, and so it is more evenly distributed on the green screen. Now this green screen I purchased on eBay, actually, and you could get a really nice size green screen for less than 20 bucks. You could also buy paint. I mean, if you've got some walls in your house or something, you could paint walls green. But I like going with the cloth. It does have wrinkles in it. I should roll it up instead of crumble it up. I try and fold it, but it is long. It's about 10 feet wide by about 30 feet long. And of course, you don't need one that big at all. And then over here is my editing computer. So here I have some footage loaded up in Adobe After Effects. Now, it's pretty simple to use. They have a plugin called Keylight, and what I want to do on the bottom layer, I have the image of the movie theater. So there is the movie theater footage, and then there's me. Now what I have to do is key out the green, so I use the color picker, I choose the green, and whammo, it's gone. So that is basically it. Just some fine adjustments, and I've got my green screen, which means that I can place characters virtually any place. And if it's done correctly, it can look, halfway decent. Let me give you some examples. Behind me is the ruins of Corinth. Being just made Machu Picchu what it is. One of my favorite places to visit, even though I'm not here. So using a green screen can be very affordable. It can be done on a DIY budget. And here's the thing. All it takes is a little practice and it could be perfected and you could get professional results. The most expensive thing is the editing software. And if you got a camera and you get some paint or some fabric, and you could use any type of household lights, and you've got yourself a green screen. Now here's a DIY tip. If you want some expensive software, you could always use the trial versions of the software. Most software, you could download the trial versions, and there are full, complete versions that you could use for a number of days. And Adobe, which makes the Premiere and After Effects software, stuff that I use, you could actually rent the software on a monthly basis. So if you don't want to pay full price for a software, you can budget amount of time that you would need and pay just as much as you need. I mean, come on, you're sitting here yapping. Yeah, I want to watch the show. Yes, I am. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, calm down. People. Calm down, buddy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of DIY Filmmaking. Take care. All right, you happy now? All right, let's watch the show. Jeez.